weather, sports, and entertainment. Wake up with the Morning Edition. Weekdays, 7 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
Business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
It's a part of all our lives. ZNS TV is where we go for information, entertainment, and enjoyment. ZNS is there with something for everyone.
Kids, lunch is ready.
ZNS TV, a part of our lives for 40 years.
When a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, it's extremely important to be prepared.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, final farewell. Final tributes paid to the late Chief Justice during a state funeral today. Homicide investigation. Police here in the Capitol investigating another murder. And pop-up breakfast. Hear how 3 young men are serving love and generosity for breakfast. The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6, starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
The Bahamas bids final farewell to the former justice. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Thanks for joining us tonight. It was a somber day across the Bahamas as all members of branches, including executive, judiciary, and the legislative, paid final tribute to former Chief Justice Stephen Isaacs. Isaacs was appointed as Chief Justice on July 9th and took the oath of office on August 10th. 2 weeks later, on August 24th, he died at the age of 63. A state funeral was held for the Chief Justice at Christ Church Cathedral this morning, and that's where Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis said the judiciary was able to maintain its independence because of judges like Stephen Isaacs.
He was not only highly competent and independent in his consideration of matters brought before him, he was also possessed of what is referred to as a judicial temperament. The civic creed of a nation is not an inanimate set of principles. A true and vibrant civic creed resides in the temperament, the spirit, the disposition, and in the hearts and minds of those who adjudicate the law.
Isaacs, described as a legal luminary, was a member of the judiciary for almost a quarter of a century. In 2002, he was appointed as acting justice of the Supreme Court. Then in February 2015, he became head of the criminal division of the court. His colleague, Harvey Tynes QC, says Chief Justice Isaacs brought dignity and class to the court system.
As practitioners before the court, we watched as you carefully tested the premise of every argument, weighed the evidence in every case, and then pronounced your decision after the most careful deliberation. You were blessed with a superior capacity for rational thought. You possessed a deep sense of fair play. You were driven by a passion for the rule of law.
Now to news from our #1 industry. Due to a significant growth in tourism numbers on the island of Abaco, the number of resorts and restaurants on that island, which are normally closed during the off-season, has drastically decreased. According to the tourism office manager in Abaco, Winsome Ferguson, Marsh Harbor and Hopetown will remain open during the period of August through November, which is typically the off-season on that island. Businesses and hotels alike normally close at the end of August until December, but some restaurants are reopening as late as December. Silver Airways has also announced the suspension of flights into Treasure Key International Airport from September 3rd until mid-November. The Bahamas Ministry of Tourism and Aviation recently reported that the Bahamas experienced significant increase in foreign air arrivals, which is up by 2.8%. Well, following a series of shooting incidents over the past few months in the Fox Hill community, today there was yet another shooting that left one man dead and another with serious injuries. The shooting took place this morning on Dorset Street in the heart of Fox Hill, where police are continuing their investigations into the homicide. The once quiet, historic settlement is now plagued with shootings seemingly taking place within weeks of one another. Bishop Carl Ramming of St. Paul's Baptist Church spoke to us today about the incident that took place on the street where he grew up.
Every murder makes us uncomfortable. And having said that, we try to stay positive. We want to remain in control from a spiritual standpoint in particular. Unfortunately, the murder that took place earlier this morning, that's where I born and grew up. And so with the old folks, they went one mourn, all of us mourn. And so we try to comfort each other.
Sandilands Primary School Principal Esther Cartwright talked to us about the impact the shootings have on the students and programs they have in place to help at-risk students.
Normally, it's a former student or a parent, an uncle, and we have been having too many shootings in Fox Hill and losing too many young lives. We just buried a former student about 2 weeks ago, and he has a brother that is in grade 6. We have the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. They mentor our boys at risk, and they encourage them to make good choices and to go to college. We also have the Fox Hill Police Station under Superintendent Warren Johnson. They have a program with boys at risk. And we also have a police officer that is stationed at the school, because Fox Hill is a challenging area to work in, but it's all good for the children. We want to do our best to see them succeed.
From the Daily Crime Report, a female resident went to the property intake section of the Bahamas Department of Corrections shortly after 11 o'clock yesterday morning, where she had 2 plates of food. When the officers checked the food, they seized a quantity of suspected marijuana at the bottom of one of those plates. Police say the suspected marijuana weighs 1 ounce and has a value of $100. Authorities arrested the female, and she's expected to be arraigned in the magistrate's court sometime next week. Meanwhile, mobile and traffic division officers conducted road checks in various parts of New Providence overnight. This resulted in the arrest of 36 persons for outstanding warrants, breach of bail conditions, damage, and armed robbery. We can also tell you that 410 motorists were ticketed for various traffic violations, including accessing the speed limit. Still to come tonight, we have a story of love and generosity. That story and more when First at 6 returns on the next side of the break.
My first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was drop down and come up slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I did not always want to be a performer, you know. I actually wanted to be a doctor. And when I was on my way to med school, I had this gold epiphany, and I went to Berklee College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field.
Many different things inspire me. No, it isn't anything specific. It's just, just enjoying the environment. And that's what I think music should be about, being free.
tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
BTC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected. Family.
Family.
Every day. This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank. Everything we do it for you.
Summer is here, and it's the time of year we love getting together with family and friends. And nothing shows your love more than one of KFC's new buckets. KFC's Bucket Love is all about our freshly prepared chicken, delicious sides, and hot buttery biscuits, starting at just $20. KFC, it's finger looking good.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Ministry of Education officials excited to enhance learning in the classrooms now that officials signed a 5-year, $8 million contract with the Bahamas Telecommunications Company to provide Wi-Fi in all schools across the Bahamas. Education's Deputy Director responsible for technology, Julian Anderson, recently explained how this new technology will propel the learning experience.
We have a number of shortages in some of our subjects, and what we'll do in real time. A teacher could be here on the island of New Providence or anywhere in the world for that matter and be teaching our students in Maguana, Auckland's Crooked Island on any given subject. Then also what we want to do with these virtual classrooms, as we call them, we want to archive those lessons because not every student capture the concepts the first time you teach them. But imagine now you can go home, go on the World Wide Web and download the lesson that you just heard a few minutes ago and replay it over and over.
Director of Education Marcellus Taylor offered this advice to teachers.
Here at the Department of Education, we have to consider the professional development opportunities so that teachers can be trained into how to use this technology to enhance the teaching and learning process, because it's not just a straight matter of the access to the technology, but it's also how you integrate and use that technology. So we'll be looking at ways in which we can strengthen up the way that we support teachers with professional development to assist them in integrating this technology. But I want teachers at this point and school administrators to think about how indeed we will utilize these tools that will now be at our fingertips to make the individual learning for individual students more impactful.
3 young Bahamian men from the St. Barnabas constituency serving some love and generosity with a side of grits, eggs, sausage, and tuna to the 400 students of the AF Adderley Junior High School this morning. Barry Griffin, Brian Roach, and Theo McPhee joined together to host the Give Back.
All the students who want to get some breakfast, they'll be able to get breakfast from us here this morning. We have some music and some prizes for them, but we also want to tell a little bit about our stories and to just give them a message of encouragement this academic year.
Let's face it, there's not much out here for them to look forward for. So if I can be one of those persons they can look forward to in order to become somebody greater in life or somebody that could exceed the person that I am, I'm grateful.
I feel like the generation right before us, they didn't give us exactly the roadmap. So now that we have been off and done certain things and we know have a little bit more experience, I feel like it's more important to come back with that experience, come back home and give those people and give the youth the exact same blue plan, that they don't have to make the same mistakes that we did growing up.
Principal Virginia Romer says she believes this program will have an impact on her students.
Many of them come from areas where they may not see that love like they ought to, and to know that there are persons who do not know them at all, but who is willing to go above and beyond the call of duty to meet their needs, to come and spend time with them, I think speaks volume. And I think my students are going to really appreciate it.
Executive Director of the Small Business Development Center, Davinia Blair, and Director of the University of the Bahamas, Quincy Parker, recently paid a courtesy call on the Bahamas Ambassador to the United States and permanent representative of the Organization of American States, His Excellency Sidney Colley, in Washington, D.C. In addition to discussing SBDC initiatives, Ms. Blair and Ambassador Colley also discussed potential areas of collaboration with entrepreneurs and investors in the United States. Blair is a former director of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation and former vice president of Institutional Advancement and Alumni Affairs at the University of the Bahamas. Well, tonight we introduce you to a young man who is following his dream and passion. He told his story to our Crystal Darling.
If you want something done, do it yourself, seems to be the motto of many young people dead set on pursuing their dreams. We spoke to one of those people today, Timothy Bain, who told us about when he started his business.
I worked to CSR Sports Radio, 106.5 from Folia. But didn't really get paid. But that experience allowed me to be a defense with as I have been cable and Jason, everybody. And I realized that I was big on social media time, like I used to use Facebook and Twitter a lot. And some friends of mine from the city just like, start a podcast, start a vlog. And I was like, I really hate my voice. I talk fast. I rather write than talk. But Ashley, who's one of the Three Amigos, she's like the silent part of Three Amigos. She said, Timmy, you need to make this.
Bain explains why he decided not to take the conventional route when pursuing a career in media and shares how he manages his time on such a busy schedule.
Most of the headlines are usually politics or crime. I really love art and culture, so if it's not, I don't want to go to the job and they make me write about politics and crime. Like, I want to be able to write about what I want to write about. So that's why they try to be my own lane versus go work for somebody else. I plan my days like at least 3 weeks ahead. So now, I have, like you said, I have a full-time job, 9 to 5. I have a small 10 to 7. I have a daughter, I have a fiance, I have other things, I have a TV show. So what I do is, Monday, I go to an event where I cover. Tuesday, I shoot a TV show. Wednesday, I stay with my daughter. So I try to do, between work hours, I try to do as much as I can for the job.
We asked the 27-year-old entrepreneur about the awards he's won so far.
First, I won for Valuation Awards. I won the Vlog of the Year for that. And then I won it again this year, so I went back to back. In October, I won the National Youth Award from my company, Three Amigos Media, for entrepreneurship. And then 2 months later, the award means a lot to me. I won the Bahamas Press Club Award for social media. And I actually said Instagram reporter. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, that's a traditional award, but they gifted me the award because of my non-traditional, conventional way of reporting what's happening. So those are the 4 awards.
Bain was also nominated for the Icon Awards this year, but did not win. However, he says that he's looking forward to trying again next year by working hard and showing off the Bahamas. Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Crystal. Well, that does it for National News First at 6. Stay with us. Jonathan Benson is next with sports.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Miami Heat came to the Bahamas for a preseason camp a few years back and went on to win an NBA championship. And after coming up just short last season, the Houston Rockets are hoping to use that same formula. The Rockets took some time out from their busy practice schedule yesterday to meet with members of the press. For Chris Paul and new off-season acquisition Carmelo Anthony, the Bahamas is like a second home.
I actually spent a lot of time here on the island. My family's always here. I've been coming here just about every summer since my rookie year, and I don't know, it's just always great. You know, we can work out and train, enjoy a little time together as a team, and then we, you know, you guys as national team basketball gym is perfect. It's ideally exactly what we need for while we're out here.
I'm always here. I'm always down here in the Bahamas. So this is, I mean, it's so quick, you know, for me and my family to get from New York down here. So, like I said, we spend a lot of time down here in the Bahamas. So.
The Bahamas Government Department of Basketball Association has a triple-header on tap tonight at the AF Adderley Gym. The NIB Kings up first against the Nassau Flight Services Rampage. The Cybots follow against the Defense Force Patrollers. The Bahamas Department of Correction Challengers, they finish off with the Aces. From the minor league baseball diamond yesterday, Jazz Rydell Chisholm went 1 for 3 in RBI and a run scored for Visalia, but they lost to Stockton 8-7 in Game 2 of the California League's Northern Division Series. That series now tied 1-1 with Game 3 set for tonight. Despite going 0 for 4, Lucius Fox and Montgomery, they tied up their best-of-5 Southern League North Division Series with Jackson, thanks to an 8-3 win. And Chavez, Young, and Lansing, they saw their season come to an end with a 4-3 loss to Bowling Green as they were swept in the Midwest League's best-of-3 Eastern Division semifinals. As for Christian Robinson and Helena, their season also ended last night as they failed to make the playoffs. However, they did end the season on a 4-game win streak, beating Missoula in their finale last night 4-2. Robinson finishing that game 1 for 3. 2 games tonight in the Eleuthera Softball Association. The Golden Pines and JC Ravens open in ladies play. That's followed by the men as the Palmetto Point Panthers take on the JC Blue Water Jets. Well, the rain easing up a bit, allowing the Province Softball Association to get 2 playoff games in last night. Up first in men's play, the CNS Hitmen and Chance's Mighty Mitts had to sit out a small delay midway through the ball game, but play would continue. Up 8-1, the Hitmen actually had a chance to close things out in 5 innings, but they allowed chances to score, and this one would go the distance. I mean that literally. This ball game lasted more than 3 hours, but in the end, it would be the Hitmen scoring a 13-2 victory, putting them up 2-0 in this best-of-5 and 1 win away from a sweep on a return trip to the championship. As for the ladies' nightcap, which got underway well after 10 p.m., the Johnson Truckers rolling over the Platinum Pool Sharks 10-3, evening that series at a game apiece. Those 2 teams back on the diamond tonight with a continuation of the game that was rained out on Wednesday. It will pick back up where it left off in the bottom of the 3rd. The Truckers up 7-3. And that is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come running. No matter the...
I got into comedy from the day I was born, and I look up and I saw who my parents was. I know my life is gonna be interesting.
The Bahamian people inspire me, like 100%.
I think the keys of the success to the band Visage has been the ability to stay relevant for the many years that the band has been around.
Technology, it keeps me connected.
What technology have done for me is priceless.
I don't know how I would be able to survive without it.
BTC every day.
If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family all around.
Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
Every day.
Everybody, are you on TV? Look, are you on TV? Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? Are you on television? I gotta tell my girlfriend I'm on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS. Quick, are you on television?
I don't have a TV in there.
We have Wi-Fi, though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone. You just have to download the app.
All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and start over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Present check? Miss, I just stand now. I still gotta pay?
In news from the region, the United States government issued a security alert for American citizens in Belize after authorities declared a state of emergency in 2 gang-plagued areas of Southside Belize City. Minister of National Security John Saldivar announced that the state of emergency, declared through a statutory instrument signed by the Governor General of Belize on Tuesday, was being implemented for an initial 30-day period to tackle the escalation of gun violence in the area, but said it could be extended. Teachers in Guyana back on the job today after conciliatory talks with their union and the Education Ministry resulted in an agreement to end strike action that had been triggered by government's refusal to meet their pay increase demands. Officials from the Guyana Teachers Union yesterday signed the terms of resumption, which will see the 2 sides going to binding arbitration. The deal brought an end to 3 days of industrial action at the beginning of the new school year in Guyana. And Air Canada is increasing service and offering year-round Air Canada Rouge non-stop flights from Toronto's Pearson International Airport to the Argyle International Airport in St. Vincent and the Grenadines next month. Weekly Thursday flights resume on October 25th and will continue on a year-round basis. Now, this is the 2nd year the airline has offered non-stop flights since the opening of the Argyle International Airport in February 2017, and the first time offering year-round travel to Canadian passengers.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, the tropics is red hot this evening. We have Tropical Storm Florence, which has been around for a little while now. It's moving toward the northwest at about 8 miles per hour, and it is expected to intensify over the next couple of days, so we'll give you the details on that later in the newscast. And then there are 2 brand new tropical depressions which formed this afternoon. The first one just off the African coast, that is TD number 8, and we expect that to turn towards the northwest. But then TD number 9, we'll keep our eyes on this very closely as it is tracking due west, and that's not certainly a good news for us at all, but we'll tell you more about that later in the newscast as well. Upper level low still creating quite a bit of a convectivity over the northwest and central Bahamas, and that will continue tonight through tomorrow. Outside of our studios, we had some recent thunderstorms, temperature 81 degrees, your relative humidity at 78%, southerly winds at 9 miles per hour, your barometric pressure 1,015.7 millibars, that is 29.94 inches, and it is falling. That's going to do it for your first look at weather. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks so much, Basil. That does it for First at 6. It's time now for a check on stories making news around the Northern Bahamas.
Business Minds receiving assistance through the government small business grant.
BUT officials giving a report card on the reopening of the school term. And there is a new Miss Grand Bahama.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Farkas, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, Grand Bahama Micro and Small Business Economic Entrepreneurial Empowerment Initiative, helping more than 41 persons to realize their dream of business ownership. A partnership between the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, providing applicants of the government grant with funding and mentorship as well. A total of 41 aspiring business owners and entrepreneurs with a desire to expand or start their businesses, receiving up to $5,000 in the government grant. Minister for Agriculture, the Honorable Michael Pintar, telling the successful applicants that they play a vital role in the revitalization of the Grand Bahama economy.
From its inception, this program was designed to fill certain gaps in the economy in Grand Bahama. When we had the discussion, the idea was, how do we assist persons in becoming drivers in particular areas where at the moment we have some challenges and some deficits? The idea is not just to look beyond the horizon for opportunities, but to ask what opportunities exist right now, and we need the right set of persons who have some resources to get started to fill those gaps. And so a program was designed with persons like you, with your spirit, with your drive, with your ingenuity in mind. And it's been an honor to collaborate with the Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, who's absolutely committed to the empowerment of young and those that are younger, longer in the Bahamas.
Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, adding that the small businesses are the economic engine for this country. He notes that while the financial part of this program is important, he cautioned them to take full advantage of the business mentorship program as well.
The same way that you are excited about getting your grant, I want you to also be excited behind getting your business mentorship. In a lot of ways, the mentorship is just as important, or in some cases even more important, than giving you the grant funds. So we want you to move on to this next stage, which is the mentorship stage, and the Chamber of Commerce is going to provide you with all the necessary assistance. We also want to thank our partners from the Grand Bahama Port Authority. And for those businesses who are new businesses, those who are the self-starter businesses that Minister Pintard just spoke to, in addition to your grant, in addition to your training, and in addition to your mentorship, the Grand Bahama Port Authority will also be giving you business license exemption for your first year.
These successful applicants are lauding the government for believing in them and giving them the opportunity to fulfill their dreams.
I'm very excited about it. It shows me that the government is trying its hardest and its best to help small business persons, entrepreneurs who would like to open their own business. It shows me that they're behind us and doing all they can to help us get started.
It shows that we are moving forward for empowering entrepreneurs on Grand Bahama, and I'm just so excited about it.
It's very hard to start what you want to, something you're passionate about, and I'm so appreciative of the government for having this program that gives people like myself an opportunity to go forth with your passion and to create something that will enhance the community of Grand Bahama.
With the government actually offering this grant, it shows that they actually believe in young entrepreneurs and them being capable of running a successful business. So I appreciate it. It was an opportunity that I took advantage of, and I only plan on being successful at the end of the day.
In other news, the Bahamas Union of Teachers is giving an assessment of the operations of public schools on Grand Bahama. The new school term began on Monday, and BUT says so far there has been a few challenges. Megan Shepard reports.
As is tradition before the beginning of each school year, Ministry of Education officials, along with the Bahamas Union of Teachers, tour schools across the island to assess their state of readiness. Area Vice President of the BUT, Quinton LaRota, says that he appreciates the fact that the ministry advised the union that 2 schools were not ready for the September 3rd opening. But it is even better news that both schools were able to open after all.
I have a meeting with the 2 superintendents tomorrow where I will articulate those other concerns. But I would say that none of the concerns amounted to where school could not open. Even though they had to do some adjustments in the interim. I suspect that within a week and a half, Walter Parker and Martintown should be completed. And then thereafter, the full use of the campus.
LaRota says that another issue is the disproportionate number of students in each school. He says that although parents may have a preference to where they want to send their children, he says it is in their best interest to adhere to school zonings. He notes that the aim is to not overburden certain staff and administrations.
We have enough rooms to accommodate the amount of students, but there's a disproportionate enrollment at several schools. For instance, Sister Mary Junior School is bursting to the seams with students. And St. George's have a disproportionately high amount of students compared to Jack Hayward High School. And so we'll have to look at that going forward. I think once the junior school in the west is completed, those students that leave 8 Mile Rock and West and to come to school in the Freeport area will stay down in the west. And I think that that'll help to alleviate some of that. If you are a parent, and I guess the school year has already begun, but going into the next school year, you could look at the schools, smaller classroom sizes assist in education.
As the government and private sector continue to work to enhance the economy of Grand Bahama, he says he believes that the current state is a part of the burden on government schools, noting that if more parents could enroll their children in private schools, that would help alleviate the numbers in government schools.
I also would think that some of the schools in Grand Bahama may need some assistance with funding. We traditionally, a lot of schools' activities are paid for by tax shop funds. But when the economy is down, kids don't have the money to spend, and they rely even more on social services for the lunch programs and so forth. So the school isn't generating the kind of funding that they used to. And so they may need more assistance from central government in certain areas with school board and so forth.
In more positive news, LaRota says that the union's district officials and the Ministry of Education is having a much better working relationship this school year, especially for the betterment of its members. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, it has been undoubtedly a rough and sad beginning of the school year at the Jack Hayward High School. On Sunday, September 2nd, 2 senior students lost their lives in a tragic electrocution incident, and just days later, a beloved teacher lost her battle with cancer. Area Vice President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Quinton LaRota, notes that unfortunately last school year ended with several deaths, and now this tragic beginning. He's offering condolences.
Personal connection with all of those people. And then Miss Stephanie Lewis Higgins, who I think I had even more of a personal relationship with. She passed. She and I taught science together at Jack Hayward High, and then she moved into the cosmetology department. And beyond that, we were friends from 10th grade at Hawksville High School. We went to college together, ate lunch together at COB and at Jack. It was so. She was a tremendous educator, a person of impeccable quality and character. And she's going to be missed from the Hawksville family to the Jack Hayward family, and of course her personal family.
Now, LaRota is asking the entire community to keep the Jack Hayward family and all students and staff across the island in their prayers.
My biggest thing every year is I pray that when we come back to school, that everything is well. And so I'm going to ask the community to pray for our schools, pray for our teachers, pray for our students. We don't know where challenges is we don't know where that is, but if there's prayer changes things, there's comfort in prayer, and there's a sense of binding together when we all go before our God and ask for his mercies and his blessings.
In other news, Ruth Nell Technical Institute, formerly known as Total Educational Center, is preparing for the official start of the new school year. The Technical and Vocational Center is committed to training tomorrow's workforce. Jay Philippe has more.
In an effort to adequately prepare residents to facilitate needs of the industrial workforce and society generally, Ruth Nell Technical Institute has designed and introduced a number of exciting, challenging, and affordable technical programs preparing residents for the workforce.
Ruth Nell Technical Institute is officially registered with the National Accreditation and Equivalency Council of the Bahamas to offer the following technical certificate programs for industry: auto service technology, cosmetology and barbering, carpentry and construction technology, modern diesel technology, electrical systems technology, digital electronics, heavy equipment operation, air conditioning, refrigeration, and welding.
Principal of Ruth Nell Technical Institute, Shani Bowes, says that students will continue to study towards both the pre-technology training certificate as well as the high school diploma.
This means that they will take both technical vocational courses such as agriculture, welding, electronics, carpentry, office procedures, hospitality, cosmetology, in addition to their general academic courses, which will qualify them for the high school diploma in accordance with the Ministry of Education standard for the achievement of high school diplomas in the Bahamas.
September 10th will mark the first day of the new school year. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Jay Philippe.
Now, the training center will hold Community Awareness and Job Registration Day at its Hawksville campus tomorrow, and that's from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
What if the solutions to your household challenges was just around the corner? Like upgrading to rooms-to-go furniture, landscaping your property, modernizing your kitchen, fixing your plumbing and electrical issues, Ace Paint for your home, television upgrade, and electronics. Tools to simplify household repair. Awesome kitchen gadgets and utensils, machines and tools for yard work, outdoor furniture and grilling supplies. You've got challenges? Dolly Madison's got the solutions.
Come on down. Now, it's back to school and back to school savings at Bellevue Business Depot. For all of your back to school and teacher supplies, they have it all at an extra 20% off retail price. Crayons, glue, markers, crayon pencils, backpack, character bags, meat notebooks, and teacher supplies for the classroom, and much, much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the backpack bundles for preschool, primary school, and high school, loaded with all the supplies you need for back to school. Teachers get your first 8-foot Butcher fadeless paper free when you purchase a minimum of 10 feet, as well as additional discounts at the Coffee Center. All at Bellevue Business Depot, located on Queens Highway. Be sure to tune into the ZNS Television Network Sunday, September 9th at 2 p.m. for the airing of the farewell service for the Venerable Archdeacon Father Harry Bain. That's this Sunday, September 9th at 2 p.m. only on the ZNS Television Network. Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. There is a new queen wearing the crown of Miss Grand Bahama. A queen was crowned during the pageant in October but has since resigned. Tonight we will meet the new Miss Grand Bahama, who says she's ready to begin her reign.
Meet your new reigning 2018-2019 Miss Grand Bahama, 17-year-old Avna Gibson. Following the resignation of the previous queen, Gibson assumed the position and says she is looking forward to her new role as queen as she serves this island and country.
My platform is entitled Empowering Youth to Pursue Excellence. My main focus and mission is for my youth to do more, be more, love more, value more, and to give more.
As she encourages young people to pursue excellence, she shares this bit of advice.
Self-empowerment is taking control of your own life, your life settings, your goals, and positive choices. It's basically understand who you are as an individual, self-evaluation. 2, education. There was once a successful man who said, education is the most powerful weapon used around the world, Nelson Mandela. Basically saying that you must have education to have a better way of living. If you don't, you fail.
Official host April Cruthergow says that they are pleased to have Gibson as a part of the prestigious organization.
We've had doctors pass through our organization, lawyers, accountants, television personalities, and business leaders. So we're very happy that their year of development continues to a lifetime of achievement and success. We hope our new Miss Grand Bahama uses this platform to encourage other young ladies and be a role model.
The recent graduate says she's already planning her next move.
My new step is to actually have my own mime dance organization, a workshop, by the way, for boys and girls ages from 8 to 15, and to let them know that dance is not only to impress, it's to express.
Gibson will now prepare to compete in the Miss Coffee pageant in Colombia. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Switching gears now, for the past 11 years, the second Saturday in September has been recognized as Caribbean Wellness Day by the CARICOM Heads of Government Summit. However, this is the first year that the Grand Bahama Health Services has taken part in the activities. This morning, a special health fair was held on the grounds of the 8 Mile Rock Community Clinic to sensitize Grand Bahamians on the importance of health lifestyles. Assistant Director of Communications Valeria Burrows notes that this year's theme, Love Thy Body, Preserving the Workforce, emphasizes the importance of healthy employees to the success of any corporation.
We recognize that the workforce encompasses the age range of 18 to 65, which is a huge chunk of our population. We need to keep ourselves healthy. We tend to work daily without taking care of our bodies. We neglect to take care of the health of our bodies. And so we want to sensitize the public that in order for our companies to be successful, in order for our businesses to be productive, in order for us as human beings to be productive, we must take care of ourselves. Let's eat healthy, exercise daily, do whatever it takes to take care of ourselves. And so that's what this health fair speaks to.
Well, Senior Assistant Hospital Administrator Dixie Jones says that a number of vendors will be on premises to share vital information with the general public.
It's always held on the second Saturday of every September. We decided to move it a little bit by one day so we could capture some of the school children. Now, it is a busy time for them being their first day back, but we do have some now. They're inside the clinic doing some other stuff, but we do have some schools who have committed to come out. It's really just to make us more aware of how we should be living, because most of our illnesses, as we know, are lifestyle issues. And so it's to show them a little of how to make juices. We have a juicing booth here. We have the HIV/AIDS, because we want to prevent that as well. And we have alkaline water. We have a few restaurants that are going to come out a little later, tell you about healthy foods and such.
And now it is time to ask the doctor.
Welcome. Today I'd like to continue our discussion of bedwetting, particularly in children 7 years and older. As far as treatment options, you can purchase a bedwetting alarm. However, in many cases, this alarm can wake parents rather than children, and you may have to wake your child and send them to the bathroom until the alarm begins to wake them. In extreme cases, medications can help control it, which is a discussion you should have with your child's doctor. There are several kinds of bedwetting. Today I will discuss the first type, which is called primary nocturnal enuresis, which means the child has never had nighttime control. In other words, they have always wet the bed at least 2 times a month. This can be caused by underdeveloped bladder muscles, producing too much urine, sleeping too deeply to register the feeling of needing to urinate, or perhaps even the slow development of the nerves that register when the bladder is full. A discussion with your child's pediatrician can help you discover the many effective treatments available to help in this instance. If you have more questions about bedwetting, please drop them in my question box at the hospital or email askdrbahamas@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away. A check on sports is up next with Ramiko Knowles.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
Welcome to Jags International. We have Celebration, Valeria, FRS, Bahamas Air, Hotel, car vouchers now on sale.
Girls, I tried book my ticket online with them ferry. That's so complicated, they asking for too much.
That's why I stick to Jags. No agency fees or booking fees. Cash and credit, all the same. Blow deals and spectacular services with a smile.
Yes, that's Jags, your one-stop shop to Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Miami.
We even offer cheap car rental vouchers to all our thrifty Hertz and VIP service.
Book now with Jags and get their $5 discount card. And don't forget the super sales going on.
At Pizza Hut Freeport, you can enjoy 2 medium pizzas with any 2 toppings, any crust, any day. Order 2 medium pizzas your way for just $8.99 each. That inclusive. Pick your pairs and order today. 2 medium pizzas for $8.99 each at Pizza Hut Freeport. Call downtown at 352-9191 and East Sunrise Highway, 373-8500. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Pizza Hut Freeport. Make it great.
Welcome to Sports 360 with Jay Fleet. We have live in studio today.
It goes down to discipline, taking care of your body, knowing what you need to put into your body.
Well, I've got the national records in the 200, 400, 800 free. We've just got eyes on Tokyo 2020.
Hi, I'm Jay Philippe, and you can tune in every Monday at 12:30 p.m. talking sports.
Power 104.5 FM.
Good evening all, welcome to another exciting edition of Sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports this evening, the YMCA introducing another sporting discipline to its list of activities to keep young persons engaged. As Jay Philippe tells us, archery is the practice of using a bow to shoot arrows and requires skill and precision.
The YMCA has started an archery event for locals under supervision of Efren Alonzo. He says there are opportunities in the sport for kids to earn scholarships.
Nice opportunity to kids that don't have the privilege to go to college on parents' tuition. It is a good possibility, really. It's a good possibility. Actually, I honestly believe a kid stand a better opportunity to grab a scholarship through archery programs rather than basketball, baseball, soccer.
The program starts September 8th and will run every Saturday through the month of October. Next on the agenda will be an international competition in November at the Grand Lucayan Hotel that will attract players from across the United States and also New Providence.
We don't get too involved on points and counting and high performing because that can push those starting kids away a little bit. You can't get in confidence. You got to get into love the sport, you know. Come over here, shoot to that, no matter you hit the target or you miss. Maybe I will change the target and I put the balloons, probably, just for him to enjoy it, you know.
Karen Johnson tells us how the program first started at the YMCA.
Our program coordinator was approached by the Archery Federation out of Nassau about starting an archery club here at the YMCA. She took the bull by the horn and she ran with the program, and we saw much interest shown towards the archery program. We didn't realize how much persons really did enjoy archery. We did not realize how much of a family environment archery really is. And for the YMCA, I think that speaks to our mission.
I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Total Sports.
The Grand Bahama Amateur Softball Association continuing slow pitch playoffs tonight. In the opener at 7 p.m., GBPA Regulators takes on Pat's Uniform Reds. In the men's slow pitch at 8 o'clock, Tenere Lutherans takes on Express Stackers. And the feature of the night will see the Cooper's Destroyers taking on Immigration Enforcers. Game 3 of the playoffs takes place this Saturday, September 8th, beginning at 7 p.m. And that's your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Make it a great one.
Big Chief meal today and receive 2 Big Chief collectible cups at all KFC restaurants in Freeport.
Business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
When a hurricane watch or warning is issued, medical emergency services are placed on high alert. For many persons seeking medical care, defining what an emergency is can be difficult to assess given all that is occurring during the storm. The following basic guidelines are designed to help you assess your emergency. If you are experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, severe pain, disorientation, extreme vomiting or diarrhea, vision disturbance or suicidal thoughts, you should seek immediate medical assistance. If you are bleeding significantly or otherwise severely injured, seek emergency assistance immediately. Children presenting with symptoms like high fever and extremely listless or lethargic behavior need to be taken to the emergency room immediately. If you are unsure of the extent of your condition, you are advised to seek medical assistance immediately. Share your symptoms with the on-call doctor and get advice as to whether or not it can wait until normal business hours. Remember, emergency care is not a convenient option for basic medical care during a storm. The Public Hospitals Authority encourages members of the public to use these basic guidelines to help decide on whether something is an emergency or not. The authority reminds the public that in the case of an emergency, always call 919 or head immediately to the emergency room. This message has been brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority and the National Emergency Management Agency.
And this one goes out to Thurell Pintard and the entire Pintard family. Our thoughts and prayers are with you guys this evening. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Wolf-Farquharson. Make it a great one.
Report, final farewell. Final tributes paid to the late Chief Justice during a state funeral today. Homicide investigation. Police from the Capitol are probing another murder. And pop-up breakfast. Hear how 3 young men are serving love and generosity for breakfast. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The Bahamas bids farewell to the Chief Justice. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. It's good to see you on this Friday. The legacy of the first Chief Justice to die while in office was honored during a state funeral at Christ Church Cathedral this morning. Chief Justice the Honorable Stephen Gerard Isaacs served the country with distinction for many years. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis says the Chief Justice was an example for others in his profession. DeAndre Williamson leads us off tonight with a state funeral held today.
Jesus said, I am the resurrection and I am the life. He who believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die.
A somber day as members of all branches of government, that is the executive, the legislative, and mostly the judiciary, reflected on the life of Chief Justice Stephen Isaacs during a state funeral at Christ Church Cathedral. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says the judiciary was able to maintain its independence because of judges like Isaacs.
He was not only highly competent and independent in his consideration of matters brought before him, he was also possessed of what is referred to as a judicial temperament. The civic creed of a nation is not an inanimate set of principles. A true and vibrant civic creed resides in the temperament, the spirit, the disposition, and in the hearts and minds of those who adjudicate the law.
Isaacs was appointed as Chief Justice on July 9th and took the oath of office on August 10th. Sadly, 2 weeks later, on August 24th, he died at the age of 63. Following his death, the Prime Minister told ZNS News that he signed a communication with the Governor General on August 23rd to knight Chief Justice Isaacs. Unfortunately, he was unable to receive that knighthood.
As many here today will testify, he was gracious and courteous and a gentleman, even when expressing an opposing view. Chief Justice Isaacs, throughout his career, was universally lauded as being a judge's judge, of being in all things the epitome of the highest standard of conduct of a judicial officer and for the upholding the rule of law.
This legal luminary was a judicial member for almost a quarter of a century. In 2002, Isaacs was appointed as acting justice of the Supreme Court and puisne judge. Then in February 2015, he became head of the criminal division of the court. His colleague Harvey Tynes QC says Chief Justice Isaacs brought dignity and class to the Supreme Court bench.
As practitioners before the court, we watched as you carefully tested the premise of every argument, weighed the evidence in every case, and then pronounced your decision after the most careful deliberation. You were blessed with a superior capacity for rational thought. You possessed a deep sense of fair play. You were driven by a passion for the rule of law.
While the Most Reverend Drexel Gomez told the congregation to evaluate their connection with God, he made this important plea.
We here in the Bahamas must ensure that no development project is approved that threatens our ecological integrity. And this is not simply a political issue. It is part of our national issue.
Following the funeral, a committal took place outside Christ Church Cathedral on George Street.
May rest in peace. Amen.
Chief Justice Isaacs was a single parent and is survived by his children, Stephen and Capri. His body is expected to be cremated. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Also making news this Friday, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis maintains that his government will not just focus on development and investment here in New Providence, as the Family Islands, he says, also plays a pivotal role in national development. Hear more in this report.
Prime Minister Minnis revealed that the 3 Family Islands with 100% employment are Exuma, Eleuthera, and San Salvador. He basically said with many employment opportunities, residents on those islands who are unemployed want to remain that way. He began discussing the island of Exuma, noting that government has recognized that business activity has increased on that island in recent years, and the government has urgent plans to build a new airport in Georgetown.
The airport that they have now cannot accommodate the amount of tourists that are arriving, and we have placed that airport on a fast track to ensure that they have new facilities. We have placed the Office of the Prime Minister on a fast track to ensure that the overseeing of what is happening here and the continuous growth of the island of Exuma is properly managed. And we will have former candidate Navarro Bow, who would be working in the Office of the Prime Minister as junior advisor to the Prime Minister.
Regarding Eleuthera, the Prime Minister acknowledged that that island also needs a brand new airport.
And just like Exuma, we have placed Eleuthera's airport on a fast track to ensure that they receive a new airport in a very, very fast as possible time, so as our guests and residents would not be continuously exposed to the elements as they are today.
With rapid family island growth, Prime Minister Minnis maintains that he wants all Bahamians to live in one Bahamas.
And that's why I spend a lot of time in the family islands speaking to the administrators, speaking to the local government, speaking to the residents, informing them what are being offered in Nassau for them. In many instances, they are not aware of the privileges and the various different events that they can partake in New Providence. So as government and as leader of the government, it's my and our responsibility to ensure that we are truly one Bahamas. And the family islands, we will not allow any island, Grand Bahama or no other island, to sink or fall behind. It is our job and our mission to bring them all together, and we move as one freedom.
Earlier this week, the Minister of Labor, Senator the Honorable Dion Fowkes, urged Bahamians to apply for the employment opportunities available at the Department of Labor. He referenced the number of Bahamians who have been hired for key positions since the recent Labor on the Blocks initiatives in New Providence and Grand Bahama. Now to news from the crime beat. Following a series of shooting incidents over the past few months in the Fox Hill area, today there was yet another violent incident that left one man dead and another with serious injuries. The shooting took place this morning on Dorset Street in the heart of Fox Hill. Bishop J. Carl Rawing of St. Paul's Baptist Church spoke about the incident that took place on the street where he grew up.
Every murder makes us uncomfortable. And having said that, we try to stay positive. We want to remain in control from a spiritual standpoint in particular. Unfortunately, the murder that took place earlier this morning, that's where born and grew up. And so what the old folks say, when one mourn, all of us mourn. And so we try to comfort each other.
Principal of the Sandilands Primary School, Esther Cartwright, was asked about the impact the shootings have on students, as well as programs in place to help at-risk students.
Normally, it's a former student or a parent, an uncle, and we have been having too many shootings in Fox Hill and losing too many young lives. We just buried a former student about 2 weeks ago, and he has a brother that is in grade 6. We have the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. They mentor our boys at risk, and they encourage them to make good choices and to go to college. We also have the Fox Hill Police Station under Superintendent Warren Johnson. They have a program with boys at risk. And we also have a police officer that is stationed at the school, because Fox Hill is a challenging area to work in, but it's all good for the children. We want to do our best to see them succeed.
Still ahead tonight, hear the plea of an Abaconian's appeal to help to cure a rare disease. And we'll tell you why it's important for men to get screened, as this month is being observed as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. We're just getting started here on the National Report. We'll see you on the next side of the break.
portion of the news is brought to you by Shell, fueling journeys that matter. Summer promotion.
Get ready. Commonwealth Bank wants to make this your best summer ever. Get the loan you need at a special discount this summer only. Cash for your best vacation, best laughs, best memories. And want to know the best part? You could win a trip for 4. So don't wait. The discount ends soon. Talk to us today about your best summer ever loan. Approval is fast and easy. Conditions apply.
When school ends, BTC summerfication begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
I got flying overseas and when she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no cute like a Bob Marley.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summerfication for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more. Okay. BTC, the bigger, better network.
Summer is here, and it's the time of year we love getting together with family and friends. And nothing shows your love more than one of KFC's new buckets. KFC's Bucket Love is all about our freshly prepared chicken, delicious sides, and hot buttery biscuits, starting at just $20. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Sean, what you doing home already? And why you can't do anything I ask you?
Calm down. Everything cool?
Everything always cool, but you running me hard.
I already do everything on the list.
You pay the light bill and phone bill?
Check.
You get the Bahamas Air ticket for me and check the Sky Bahamas tickets for mommy?
Check.
I know you ain't send that moneygram to Junior.
I already do that too.
You sicky. You ain't never do everything I ask you.
I go on the Cash and Go and do everything right there.
You pick up dinner too?
Cash and Go don't sell chicken yet. Cash and Go, your one-stop shop for bill paying and so many other things.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
We begin this segment with news from education. Ministry of Education officials excited to enhance learning in the public school system with technology now that a 5-year, $8 million contract was recently signed with the Bahamas Telecommunications Company to provide Wi-Fi in schools across the Bahamas. Education's Deputy Director responsible for technology, Julian Anderson, explained how this new technology will propel the learning experience.
We have a number of shortages in some of our subjects, and what we'll do in real time. A teacher could be here on the island of New Providence or anywhere in the world for that matter and be teaching our students in Maguana, Auckland's Crooked Island on any given subject. Then also what we want to do with these virtual classrooms, as we call them, we want to archive those lessons because not every student capture the concepts the first time you teach them. But imagine now you can go home, go on the World Wide Web and download the lesson that you just heard a few minutes ago and replay it over and over.
Director of Education Marcellus Taylor offered this advice to teachers.
Here at the Department of Education, we have to consider the professional development opportunities so that teachers can be trained into how to use this technology to enhance the teaching and learning process, because it's not just a straight matter of the access to the technology, but it's also how you integrate and use that technology. So we'll be looking at ways in which we can strengthen up the way that we support teachers with professional development to assist them in integrating this technology. But I want teachers at this point and school administrators to think about how indeed we will utilize these tools that will now be at our fingertips to make the individual learning for individual students more impactful.
The 656 students and 44 staff members at the Columbus Primary School on Collins Avenue are all settled in as the first week of school comes to a close. Principal Jacqueline Sands says they're ready and eager to advance their program as they intend to improve on last year's performance. But she believes the key to doing so is through a collective will, which includes parents, teachers, and community stakeholders. This approach, Ms. Sands says, will lead to producing well-rounded students.
Excellence starts with me and from the principal and every other staff member. We seek to display this badge on a daily basis to remind us that excellence is a way of life. Excellence has a look, excellence has a sound. And so we seek to model it for our students and hope that they in turn will emulate it in all that they do, in their behavior, in their academics. Holistically, we intend to turn out students of excellence.
Now to what has become a growing concern in the healthcare sector. Prostate cancer continues to be one of those health issues affecting men in the Bahamas, and this September is being observed as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Health experts and caregivers are now drumming up support to educate men who are potentially at high risk. Urologist Dr. Robin Roberts is leading the cause for early detection and prevention.
The problem with it is that not only is it common in both men and black men, but particularly in black men, it is shown to be more likely to occur. It is more likely to spread and advance throughout the system. And black men are more likely, 2 to 4 times more likely to die from prostate cancer than their white counterpart.
According to Dr. Roberts, as prostate cancer is a slow-moving disease, screening and getting tested is critical.
The most common symptom of prostate cancer is no symptom at all. In the early stages of prostate cancer, the man will feel absolutely nothing. Okay? Now, this is the stage in which you want to find that cancer. Because if you can find that cancer at this early stage, then it is possible for you to eradicate it, get rid of it completely. Because once that grows beyond that stage into an advanced condition, you can no longer get rid of the cancer. You can't cure that person. But very fortunately, we also have treatment, however, where we can control the cancer.
We have a story about a teenager who was in desperate need of your financial help after his health took a turn for the worst nearly 6 months ago. His story is like many Bahamians with health issues who experience difficulty getting the necessary medical attention to get that second lease on life. Unfortunately, the teenager died this morning, but he shared his story with our LaDawn Davis.
This is 18-year-old Ratanyan Leary, an exceptional student several months ago with plans to pursue a law degree at the University of the Bahamas. And if you fast track today, Ratanyan is in the fight of his life after he was diagnosed with a rare disease that attacked his white blood cells, causing his hair to fall out and renal failure. He stopped by our ZNS studios with his mother and pastor to share his heart-wrenching story with us.
While I was on a dance team called Sauce Up, and during practices, I decided that I would, get more serious in interaction. But I noticed I started to swell in my feet, but I never paid no mind to it, I would just take a few tablets and the swelling would go. But after I saw swelling in my face, I decided to go to the local community clinic, and that's when they found out that I was diagnosed with renal failure.
The Abaco native who was confined to a wheelchair does not have medical insurance and had to relocate to New Providence to seek further dialysis treatment 3 times per week. He revealed to ZNS News that he recently discovered a rash on his arm and had to take an emergency doctor visit last week.
I live over here now because the dialysis center in Abaco, they don't the type of catheter I have, they don't operate with it over there. But dialysis it helps a lot, because sometimes when I get fluid overload, like I can't breathe, I cough a lot, my whole body starts to swell, and I mean, it's a lifestyle for about 2 months in the bed, so I have no movement in my body, my muscles in my feet, everything just gone. Like, I can't walk at the moment.
Now, to save Ratanyan's life, he would need $200,000 to get that urgent medical procedure performed by doctors at the Cleveland Medical Center in Miami, Florida. He made this appeal for help.
Appreciate it if persons could lend a helping hand and assist me with getting the necessary medical treatment I need, because it's hard. It really is.
Well, sadly, with Ratanyan's passing, bills are still due, and his mother, Coretta Leary, now has funeral costs to add to those bills as well. Joining us live in studio is Bishop Cedric Bullard. He's the pastor for the Leary family. He traveled from Abaco here to Nassau to be with them. First of all, Pastor, our condolences to the Leary family as well as your church family, and have a good evening.
Thank you so much.
First of all, Pastor, how is the family coping with Ratanyan's sudden demise?
This has been very hard, very hard. It's amazing. She spoke to him at 8 o'clock, at least on yesterday evening at about 6 o'clock. I went to church last night, and after a service, I spoke to him about 10:15, told me all was well. And 8 o'clock this morning, they called us. So his mother, his grandmother's mother is here, but his grandmother came to my house, who woke me up, banging on my door, crying and screaming. And I know that was trouble, because his mother called me and said that he called her to the hospital this morning when she called me at about 8 o'clock. And it's hard on the family and the church and the youth of Abaco.
Well, Pastor Bullard, how can you tell us, how has this ordeal affected the family?
Very hard, very hard. Listen, this is one of the most vibrant individuals in their entire family. He had purpose. He was intelligent. He was very smart, very active. Loved his family. His family loved him because he was so promising. Like you mentioned in your newscast, came to UB to study law. He was doing great in school, and the family, this is very tough on the family. A great loss to Abaco and the family. And of course, the church.
You told me Ratanyan is a resident of Cooperstown, where your church is based, and I want you to tell us, how did this illness impact Ratanyan's faith?
Well, I thank God for his faith. He was very optimistic always. But because this ordeal was so heavy on him, and he went through so much traumas, they brought him back about 5 times while he was here. And not only that, but he said to me at one of the last time I came to him, when he was in ICU, and he was going through that situation of the Steven Johnson syndrome, where sores was all over his body. He said to me, Pastor, I'm pretty tired. My faith is strong. I've talked to my God, and I'm prepared to just get out of here. I'm prepared to leave and be with my Savior, because I just can't take it anymore. So his faith came alive, and the last thing I heard from him, he had great faith in trusting God, believing that all will be well.
Pastor, what help does the family need now?
Oh, well, I tell you, this family need much help. Financially, this has drained every penny. I met with the mother this evening and asked her what's after being at the funeral home this afternoon, talking to the undertaker, I said, what's in the kitty? She said, Pastor, nothing right now this time. So he needs a lot of help. So this family needs you to contribute. So those of you that are out there, you need to give me a call or give her a call. You know, if you want numbers, my phone number is 551-4636. Or those you want to go direct to a bank, we had a medical fund set up for him because we was trying to get him to the U.S. for medical care. So Scotia Bank, 454-9759, Scotiabank 4549759 will be the account. Retanyan Leary's that will be on that account is in medical fund if you want to contribute and help this family.
Once again, Pastor, our condolences, and we wish you all the best. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Altaviz, and thank you to Sereness for broadcasting this for us. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks so much for joining us on the Bahamas tonight.
My pleasure. Bye-bye. Thank you.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
I'm Amajal Knowles with your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Wrap. In local market news, the market gained momentum this week with 259,901 shares crossing the exchange, down from last week's volume of 169,640 shares. 8 of the 19 publicly traded companies experienced activity this week. The star performer was AML Foods, trading 14,532 shares to close up by 5 cents or 1.28% to a new price of $3.95 per share. 3 companies declined this week. Kill Bahamas was the lead decliner this week, trading 47,550 shares to close down 10 cents or 3.85% to $2.50 per share. Commonwealth Bank traded 9,000 shares to close down 3 cents or 0.82% to $3.65 per share. And Folk Oil traded 37,154 shares to close down 7 cents or 1.88% to $3.65 per share. In other company news, Commonwealth Bank declared a dividend of 2 cents per share to shareholders payable on the 28th of September. And here's your wealth tip for the week. While there's no crystal ball in determining how your investments will perform, one surefire way to gain a financial edge is through an automatic investment account. Think about it. By consistently investing 5% to 10% of your income every single month, you will grow your wealth in a huge way. Have the money automatically deducted from your paycheck and deposited straight to your investment accounts. Automatic deposit into investment accounts is absolutely the best way to have discipline when it comes to saving and investing. All you have to do is set it and forget it. I'm Amajal Knowles, and this has been your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Recap.
We start with a yes, but when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel anywhere. Fly on any airline, anywhere, at any time, with no blackout dates. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
Exhale, exhale. Now you're home. Now you're home. You can have your peace of mind. Oh, it's family time. We pay attention to the smallest details. Safety and security, we deliver luxury. Serenity, welcome home.
Whether you're renovating your home, furthering your education, or shopping for a new or used vehicle, RBC offers flexible and convenient financing that fits your budget. Apply online or visit your nearest RBC branch for expert advice on how RBC can help you get a flexible, customized loan at a great rate. RBC, reimagine how you bank.
Three young Bahamian men from the St. Barnabas constituency served some love and generosity with a side of grits, eggs, sausage, and tuna to the 400 students of the A.F. Adderley Junior High School this morning. Barry Griffin, Brian Roach, and Theo McPhee came together to host the Give Back.
All the students who want to get some breakfast, they'll be able to get breakfast from us here this morning. We have some music and some prizes for them, but we also want to tell a little bit about our stories and to just give them a message of encouragement this academic year.
Let's face it, there's not much out here for them to look forward for. So if I can be one of those persons they can look forward to in order to become somebody greater in life or somebody that could exceed the person that I am, I'm grateful.
I feel like the generation right before us, they didn't give us exactly the roadmap. So now
now that we've been off and done a certain things and we know have a little bit more experience, I feel like it's more important to come back with that experience, come back home and give those people and give the youth the exact same blue plan, that they don't have to make the same mistakes that we did growing up.
Principal Virginia Romer says she believes this initiative will have a great impact on her students.
Many of them come from areas where they may not see that love like they ought to, and to know that there are persons who do not know them at all, but who is willing to go above and beyond the call of duty to meet their needs, to come and spend time with them, I think speaks volume, and I think my students are going to really appreciate it.
Well, there's more to come. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pensions.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Shell is taking you on an exciting journey with its summer promotion. Now through September 14th, enter for your chance to win a brand new 2018 Toyota Yaris. Just make a minimum purchase of $20 worth of fuel from any Shell service station in Nassau. Answer the skill question on the entry form and submit. The grand prize will be drawn on September 14th. Other weekly prizes include free fuel vouchers and VIP packages to see Jay-Z and Beyonce live in concert August 31st at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. For more info, visit their Facebook page at Sun Oil Bahamas.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Well, it's time now for a check on the weather in your part of the Bahamas, and Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures across the country. Happy Friday, Basil.
Same to you, Altoise. And right now we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family of Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 82 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, also Grand Toll, Key at Abaco, Marsh Harbor at 84, 82 in Bullocks Harbor, that's in the Berry Islands. Alderstown, Bimini, also 82 degrees, 81 in Harbor Island here in the capital, Rockstown, Eleuthera, Otterstown, Cat Island, Staniel Key at 82, 82s also in Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. 81s in San Salvador, Rum Key and Georgetown, Exuma, the Mercury column got up to 82 in Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, and Marigot Island. Atkins at 83, Betsy Bay, Maguana, another 83, Matthew Town, Nago 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For tonight through Sunday for the Northwestern Islands, you can expect a southerly flow at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights, they're going to be around 2 to 4 feet. Low tide taking place at 5 minutes past midnight. You can expect your high tide at 6:03 tomorrow morning. For the Central and Southeastern Islands, a southeast flow at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast. And your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
I ain't going back. No. I ain't going back. No. I done had one heart attack, so I ain't going back. I ain't going back. No, I ain't going back. She done give me heart attack, Jack. I ain't going back. It's not often I get the chance to have what I call a real romance. hugging and kissing all the time. Getting roach, even on my mind.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 25 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Skin cancer is a very common form of cancer. Almost all skin cancers are the result of too much exposure to ultraviolet light. This is found in sunlight, tanning booths, and sun lamps. Fortunately, it is usually one of the most preventable and curable types of cancer. A sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher is one important part of complete sun protection regimen. Sunscreen alone is not enough, however. Here is a list of skin cancer prevention tips. Seek the shade, especially between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Do not burn. Avoid tanning and ultraviolet tanning beds. Cover up with clothing, including a broad brim hat and ultraviolet blocking sunglasses. Use a broad spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher every day. For extended outdoor activity, use a water-resistant broad spectrum sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher. Apply 1 ounce or 2 tablespoons of sunscreen to your entire body 30 minutes before going outside. Reapply every 2 hours or immediately after swimming or excessive sweating. Keep newborns out of the sun. Sunscreens should be used on babies over the age of 6 months. Examine your skin head to toe every month and see your physician every year for a professional skin exam. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We want you to breakfast and clean the Super Bowl. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring on your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring on your cheering clothes. That Super Wash.
Whether it's for school lunch packs or football parties, Super Value and Quality Supermarkets has the specials you need this September, including Kellogg's Corn Flakes 24-ounce box, $3.99. Boneless chicken breast, $2.29 per pound. First Choice Sugar, 4-pound bag, $2.39. Hunt's Ketchup, 35-ounce bottle, $1.99. Cello Carrots, 5-pound size, $2.99. Pick Sweet Corn on the Cob, 8-count, or mixed vegetables, 16-ounce bag, $2.99. No matter the occasion, Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day.
Just in time for back to school, here we are with another exciting announcement. The Ministry of Education calls it a Red Letter Day, a signing between BTC and the Ministry of Education in an initiative that the Minister of Education, Jeff Lloyd, says will not only revolutionize education in the Bahamas, but it will also place the public education system in this country in step with the rest of the world.
We are very happy that the digital revolution in education begins today with this initiative with ourselves and our strategic partner, BTC. We're upgrading now, if you would say, from a Volkswagen to a Rolls-Royce. And teachers and students are excited to be on the cutting edge of technology. No longer will we have to wait for downloads and uploads, because now we will have the fastest speed that's available to man.
As a testament to this 5-year contract and to stimulate the ministry's e-learning initiatives, Minister Lloyd, BTC is proud to announce that we will also provide 2,500 tablets for teachers, primary school students, and preschoolers.
The rollout of fiber technology in our nation's public schools is both an exciting and ambitious undertaking, but it is a task that BTC officials say they are more than willing to meet. I'm Corbell Piper, and we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with
Z&S Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The government's Elite Athletes Subvention Program coming under review in the last year. A lot of athletes have voiced their concerns after not being paid the past 2 months, but the new Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honourable Anisha Rolle, assures them that she is one who gets the job done.
As far as I'm aware, for this year, fiscal period, we've already approved, this government has already approved subventions for athletes. As a matter of fact, we met with the Division of Youth yesterday and confirmed that those subventions are being processed to be released to the athletes as soon as possible. And so I just like to get the job done, and I know how important this is for persons to perform well and to be comfortable in doing what they're doing. So I'm behind it 100%.
The Miami Heat came to the Bahamas for a preseason camp a few years back and went on to win a championship. And after coming up just short last season, another team is hoping to use that same formula. We get that story from Amajal Knowles.
Some big-name NBA superstars are in town yet again. Members of the Houston Rockets organization are currently staying at the Baha Mar Resort as a part of a week designed to build the team's camaraderie and chemistry leading up to the upcoming season. Star point guard Chris Paul saying that he's enjoying his trip thus far, and he's definitely no stranger to the Bahamas.
My family's always here. I've been coming here just about every summer since my rookie year, and I don't know, it's just always great. You know, we can work out and train, enjoy a little time together as a team, and then we, you know, you guys as national team basketball is perfect. Ideally, exactly what we need for while we're out here.
As for recently signed All-Star forward Carmelo Anthony, he offered similar sentiments, saying the Bahamas is like a second home.
So many different small islands that you can hit, you can go to, you can enjoy yourself. So you don't have to feel like you're doing the same things over and over and over again. So I think that's like the most important thing that we look forward to when coming down here.
Keith Jones, Senior Vice President of the Rockets organization, on how the relationship with the resort came about.
We tried to do this last year through Mr. Rogers and with the Hurricane Harvey. Half of us couldn't get out of Houston. And, you know, it was something we wanted to do. And Jeff was very instrumental. He called and said, what do you need to do? What do you need? What do you want? And it's turned out great. And it's, like I said, just a good, relaxing place. All of our players and most of our staff came down and got some good work done. Great accommodations. And like I said, we look forward to doing it again.
Baha Mar President Graham Davis saying that the hotel is hoping to continue to build on the partnership with the team.
We're just absolutely thrilled that the team was able to come back to the Bahamas this year, enjoy some great weather, enjoy some incredible hospitality here at Baha Mar. And from our perspective, it is so important to keep supporting the basketball. Certainly the teams here in the Bahamas with the national basketball team that we have been sponsoring and are sponsoring for the upcoming years as well. We have certainly a close relationship with the basketball and the sports and the industry, and certainly thrilled to have the Houston Rockets here in the Bahamas.
The team has been enjoying amenities at the resort as well as the beach, also holding several practice sessions at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gymnasium. More from the Rockets stay in tomorrow's newscast. For Z&S Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Bahamian Dominic Bridgewater has hopes of one day playing in the NBA, and he's definitely on the right track. After playing with Team Bahamas during the Summer of Thunder series, the former Anto Rogers star was invited to France to try out with the team there, and he was named the most valuable player in his first preseason tournament last weekend, averaging 18 points and 11 assists.
I was able to have a good tournament, right? But hard work, I was putting in hard work from I was home, still putting in hard work over here. I just put my best foot forward when I get on the court. Don't care where I play, so that's why I was able to get the MVP of the tournament. Adjusting to France, ain't no major big difference in home. Just that when I really want to talk to people in the morning, I can't because they normally sleep. It's like 5 hours ahead over here, so I just have to tug it out. The training part, training is good. It's like hell on earth over here. Well, they train way different from home, but it's no place like home, but I'm just saying, the training is tough. Some nights I get home and all I want to do is just sleep. My body be finished, break up. So the training is good.
The rain easing up a bit, allowing the Province Softball Association to get in 2 playoff games last night. Up first in men's play, the CNS Hitmen and Chances Mighty Mitts had to sit out a small delay midway through the game, but play would continue. Up 8-1, the Hitmen actually had a chance to close this one out in 5 innings, but they allowed Chances to score, and this one would end up going the distance. And I mean that literally. This ball game lasted more than 3 hours, but in the end, it would be the Hitmen scoring a 13-2 victory, putting them up 2-0 in this best of 5, and 1 win away from a sweep and a return trip to the championship.
We could be much better. Remember, this is a 7 o'clock game. We used to play at 8:30, so the starting team came in very late. And so these things happen, but we good.
We had a few errors, you know, a few calls that didn't go our way, but we still have to play ball. The game is consisted of hits, runs, and errors, and we just weren't as consistent as we were, as we thought we would be. But hopefully in the third game, we'll come back and backdoor sweep them.
How's the rain affected you guys?
You know, these things happen. You know, this ain't the first time it happened. You know, we gotta deal with adversity and know how to overcome. You know, this is playoff time, and you can't take nobody for granted. Everybody, and they come out here, they want to be winners, and so that's why you got to keep your feet on the gas pedal to ensure that you secure wins. This one's supposed to be short and sweet. And my car outside still running, but I should be on the gas at this time.
You're going off the sweep in the next game. What's the game plan? You're trying to close this one out.
Well, indeed, you know, we're trying to close it out to try and get ready and prepared for the championship. Truckers is a very good ball club, so we're looking straight ahead with respect to trying to secure the 3-0 series.
In the ladies' nightcap, which got underway well after 10 p.m., the Johnson Truckers rolling over the Platinum Pool Sharks 10-3, evening that series at a game apiece. Those 2 teams back on the diamond tonight with a continuation of the game that was postponed on Wednesday. It picks back up where it left off in the bottom of the third, with the Truckers up 7-3.
We're going to do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in Freeport. And then when we come back on Thursday, we'll do there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We got some young, interested umpires coming up. We had a few clinics here trying to prep.
The Bahamas Baseball Association will host 2 umpiring certification clinics next week. One of them will be here in the capital, and the other in the nation's second city.
We're going to do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in Freeport. And then when we come back on Thursday, we'll do there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We got some young, interested umpires coming up. We had a few clinics here trying to prep them for when the guys come down. Skull is doing the same thing in Freeport. We have about 12 umpires in Freeport, and off and on we have about 22 here. We also have an umpire coming down from Eleuthera, Cyril Dane, young umpire. He umpired in the Nationals, did an excellent job. We're trying to get someone from Abaco so they can meet us in Freeport. So I'm trying to cover all the ground. You know, the stadium is on its way, so when the stadium is finished, we want the guys to be more prepared, and we're trying to give them the ammunition to go there. We have a whole new slate of young ball players coming in. You know, baseball has been very successful. We signed plenty of our young men, so we want to try and get the officiating at the same level. It's different levels of certification. Level 1 is just for you coming participating. Then level 2 is then we see how your progress is going, and then the serious set who really want to progress and better themselves, like I did. Then they get opportunity once we see you're interested and you're learning, you're studying, and you're going out there and you're progressing. Then we make preparation for you to go abroad.
From the minor league baseball diamond yesterday, Jazz Rattle Chisholm going 1 for 3, an RBI and a run scored, but Visalia lost to Stockton 8-7 in Game 2 of the California League's North Division Series. That series now tied 1-1. Game 3 set for tonight. Despite going 0 for 3, Lucius Fox and Montgomery, they tied up their best of 5 Southern League North Division Series with Jackson, thanks to an 8-3 win. Game 3 there is also set for tonight. Chavez Young going 0 for 4 as Lansing saw their season come to an end with an 4-3 loss to Bowling Green. They were swept in the Midwest League's best of 3 Eastern Division semifinals. As for Christian Robinson and Helena, their season also coming to an end last night as they failed to make the playoffs. However, they did end the season on a 4-game winning streak. They beat Missoula last night in their finale 4-2. Robinson finishing up the game 1-4-3. With Vincent Strawn back in the president's chair leading the way for amateur boxing in the Bahamas, there's now going to be more of a national focus, with the various islands being divided into zones.
Inagua, Maguana, Auckland's Crooked Island, as a zone whereby they will compete from time to time as often as possible. Because what we've always been lacking, lack of competition. And the more we can compete, the better we will actually be. Then we will move from Long Island, Exuma, Ragged Island, and those areas. And that will be another zone. Then we'll come down to Eleuthera, New Providence, Andros, and then you have Abaco, Bimini, and the Berry Islands as another zone. So there will be consistent competition from time to time as we develop. And we will definitely be able to have an inclusive program moving forward.
Talking about moving forward, it's all in an effort for everybody to come together for Nationals.
Nationals will consist of a week of events, which would include an annual general meeting, and we will also have a training session again. We would also have an honorary banquet to honor persons in boxing from yesteryears. And everybody will have an opportunity to participate in the growth and development of amateur boxing. We have a good team, we have the best plan, and I am confident that we will take boxing to the highest heights it has ever been in this entire country.
The Ministry of Education happy with the way its various national high school championships have been going, but Sports Officer Evan Wisdom says they still need to get more of the country involved.
If we are truly a commonwealth, we need to provide those that experience that child in Cat Island, that child in Inagua, or wherever it is. And government is attempting to do that through these national championships. We pour almost $1 million or $1.5 million into salaries for coaches and these national championships. And I think if persons really sit back and think, government's doing something very smart, they're targeting young people. So a lot of these events that have been canceled, et cetera, I think to a greater or less extent, we're going to be the benefit of it, because that money will be able to flow towards young people, especially in our family islands, and assist them in their growth and development.
C.I. Gibson has established itself among the leaders when it comes to high school sports in the country. Coach Kevin K.J. Johnson spoke a bit about their recipe for success.
You know, our PE staff, our coaching staff here at the Physical Education Office works extremely hard to prepare our kids the best we know how, teach them the game the right way, teach them the fundamentals of the game, and we prepare them to go out there and play to the best of their abilities.
All roads lead to Harbour Island next month for the North Eleuthera Regatta, which will be held during the National Heroes Holiday weekend. In addition to sailing, there will also be a number of onshore activities.
Have a rooster catching contest, okay? We're gonna grab some roosters and let them out through the crowd, and whomever grabs 1 or 2 roosters, we'll give out $100 per rooster. We have the watermelon heating contest, we have the onion peeling contest, we have the slippery pole contest, and we have the beer drinking contest. We're gonna have a concert of Bahamian artist that's gonna be performing. I mean, you would never see nothing like this before. I mean, we're gonna try to get all of the local entertainers, Bahamians I'm talking about, to entertain our crowd. And I forgot to mention our beach bash. Okay, we're gonna have the best calypso dancer, the best reggae dancer, the best dressed female, the best dressed male. I mean, and the list goes on.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean. Banking that fits your life.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, Tropical Storm Florence making its mark. It's moving towards the west at about 8 miles per hour, and we anticipate that it will rebound to a hurricane status over the next couple of days, at least over the weekend, getting up to a Category 3, which is a major storm. But the track has shifted a bit southward, so it seems as though Bermuda will be spared from this very strong storm as it moves towards the west. But what we can anticipate here in the Bahamas early next week, there will be some strong to very large sea swells, which will be generated by the system. So boaters that traversing the waters of the Bahamas will have to exercise extreme caution, particularly on the north and eastern coast of these islands come early next week. And then we have this is the graphic that's showing those swells as they would be generated next week. And then we go to our next graphic, which show two brand new tropical depression formed this afternoon. The first one just off the African coast, that is TD number 8. It is expected to turn more towards the northwest, just to the south of the Cape Verde Islands. And we have yet a second tropical wave, number 9. This TD has formed, and it's taking a more westerly track, which will cause for some concern, because if it maintains that westerly track over time, it could be a problem for us here in the Bahamas. So we'll watch TD9 very closely. On the home front, we have that mid to upper level trough continuing to generate convectivity, which means that there will be pockets of showers and thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Right now, much of it is really offshore, but at times they will be moving inland, so you'll be having these occasional showers and thunderstorms. And just to the north and east of the Bahamas, we have another area of low pressure. That one we're also looking at quite closely. It has about a 20% chance of developing over time, so the tropics is very busy. Tonight, mostly cloudy with an early night shower or even a thunderstorms in the mix. The low temperature getting down to 76 degrees. And then tomorrow we're looking at pockets of showers and thunderstorms once again with your high temperature around 88 degrees. The extended weather forecast over the next 7 days, much of the wet stuff into Saturday, and we're going to dry things out a bit nicely for you on Sunday. And as we go into the early part of next week, an abundance of sunshine is in the forecast, and it seems as though the temperatures, well, they are unchanged. They remain pretty much seasonal.
So we got to stay inside all day tomorrow?
I would say you have to stay inside, but certainly keep your umbrellas handy for whenever those little pop-up showers come. You're able to shield yourself, and then the sun will be right back on.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. On behalf of our teams here in Nassau and over in Freeport, we want to thank you so much for watching, and have a great evening, everyone.
Watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
It's a beautiful day here in Grand Bahama. Welcome to Phenomenal, everyone. I'm Joan Davis Roll. I'm coming to you from one of the most upscale communities on the island of